Hello everybody and welcome back to Survival Challenge on Homestead. So we are going to start by trying to get this field ploughed. I don't think we're going to be able to plough it all in one go, but if we split it over this episode it should make a large job relatively smaller, I believe. I would like to try and get a greenhouse in this episode at some point, because although I am trying to sort of stagnate, what's the correct word for that? I'm trying to get all the crops so they come ready at different times so that we have something different to do sort of all the time, if that makes sense. But right, let's create field, lower that down like so. Yeah, so that's what I'm trying to do with the field. But in the interim, we need to, or I would like to, try and make money a different way rather than selling timber, which we do have a load of timber in the trailer ready to sell, but I just don't want to get it too monotonous early on, of where it's just doing wood all the time to fund everything, which is obviously going to be the case, but the more we can avoid it while still progressing will be much better. So yeah, so we've got a few greenhouses I'd like to show you, a few garden plots that I'd like to show you just to see what we think about them, and then go from there. But in the meantime, I'm going to set on, have a good bit of time at this, because there's this whole chunk in here to do, and I may be leaving too much of a grass margin, but we can always come and trim that up a little bit. Well, that field was a lot bigger than what I thought it was going to be. So I have just, as you can tell, I've done half of it. We'll do the other half maybe at the end of the episode there. But I want to get this drilled, so we'll turn it into two fields, I think, for the time being. But let's just limit to field so we can now take this off. But yeah, I think if we did the whole field, it would be far too big for our setup, and you'd spend a whole episode in here, harvesting and getting it all ready. So I think by splitting it in two for now is going to be the most sensible option. But right, what am I doing? Why am I taking the plough? I'm walking the plough away when I've just said we'll be doing that the other half at the end of the episode. That was not the wisest of things. We'll leave this just here, so when we come to drill, what I will do is I'll leave a furrow or two here, so I'll probably drill up to like this line, just in case when we come to plough this, I don't want to be ploughing it over. Right, we need to go, oh they're falling off, we need to go sell these, and then hopefully get some money in for a greenhouse, which we need to then decide where to put the greenhouse, because what I will do, if I just go into this, I want to have the house in here somewhere. And if we're going to use this as our driveway, what I would quite like, this is my sort of vision for it, is if you had animal pens going down the side as you come in. But if that's the case, I was thinking the house would want to be set back here. And if this house is set back here, this is where we want to have the greenhouse near. It's that, or we put the greenhouse up here for now. And then when we have the finances, we can then start building here. But I do think getting the house down, or the house that we would like down first, may be sort of the wisest option to then try build around. This is a lovely part of the map, looking up there. I think that's very picturesque. The only thing I think this map is missing is standing water. Having a lake or streams, unless I've missed some. But having lakes and streams and all that sort of thing, I think would have just made this map even better. But I believe there is a water course under the map, so if you drop the ground down, you will find some. But right, let's sell that. So that's got us £10,389. So with the greenhouse, we're also going to need a water trailer. So we do, what's that, 500 litres. Ooh, that's 2,000. But we do have, so that's 1,700. I may get that because that's slightly different, because we could go for, if we go trailers, 150. Yes, it's cheaper. What's that, 450, and it's 2,000 litres. Does that do slurry as well? I don't know. What do we do? Oh, we can go new with it all. Okay, that's quite cool. And then that knocks it up to 1450. Or we go for this one down here, which still more money. Oh, look, you can go wide tyres on it. See, I like the look of that one. I think it's very in keeping, but for £2,000 for the same literage. What do we do? It makes the most amount of sense to go with this. We're saving a lot. Well, we're saving over £1,000 there. So I can't bring myself to buy that other one. The only reason why we would buy the other trailer, was just to have something a bit different to what we already have. But can we link these two trailers up? That's what I'll be very interested to know. There is no hitch, or there doesn't look to be any hitch there, so I would say not. No. Right, we'll get this back, and then we'll come back, gather that up, and get everything back to the farm so we can hopefully go build this greenhouse. I am going to go leave this trailer up here, because it makes sense to me that this bit of woodland that we've got a very small section. Well, I say a very small section, it's a big enough section going straight through. So we might as well do our woodwork in there, and so that we're getting the money from the wood, but then we're also putting it into, we can then move it back into farmland. So let's leave that there, and let's go get our water barrel. Right, I think for now, the greenhouse going on the right hand side in here is the better option. It's not going to, we're not spending a lot of money on it all, but when we do go to build something properly, then we will start to look elsewhere. So greenhouses, that's the one I would like to put in. So water is at the back, but the door is there. Which way around should we put this? That makes more sense to put it that way around, but then the water, for the door, but then the water's at the wrong side. Oh, that doesn't seem to change. Oh, yeah, it is. Oh, this must be very, very flat where we are here. Right, let's go. Let's just zoom out a bit. We will put that there. And with that there, what I would also like to do is, I think it's in containers. there is a shed with a water point. Let's try find it. No, not that one. Right, let me try find it. So by the looks of it, I don't think I've got it installed. So we will go for one of these, which I've got my interactive zone markers turned off. I would have done that for a screenshot. So I believe this must be where things are going to spawn. So if that's the case, let's put our water there, so that shouldn't be in the way, and this should now mean that we can spin round and get this tank filled up. I will, with the landscaping tool, I will just remove these bushes because they're rather annoying. There's 2,000 litres. Let's now... Ooh, I've just knocked my sprayer. Oh, hold on, I'm on the front, so there we go. So let's unload into there, and I think if I do this from the other way around, would I be able to load and unload without having to move? If that's the case, then that'd be brilliant. We'll be able to get this loaded up fairly sharpish. So right, let's... Yeah, we can. Unload and load. Oh, just look at our water thing there. It's just flying up and down. Well, I'll just quickly get on and get this completely filled by doing this. And there we go. No more spare capacity for water. So if we go through the door and go to here, where's the... There we go. So we haven't done... We did lettuce in Oakbridge Farm. Let's have a look. I think we've done strawberries, because... Did we do strawberries? Anyways, let's do... What I'm getting at is let's go and do chili peppers. I don't like chilies, so let's do chilies. And we'll do... Should we do a bit of garlic as well at the same time? And we'll leave them on. Stop. Oh, they're the chili bushes. I was just thinking, what are those? Right, let's just eradicate these weeds here. Like so. So right, we'll leave this water tanker here. So we'll just drop that off. Oh, we're gonna have to go soil sample what we've done, haven't we? Otherwise it would be... Will it be a waste of time drilling? Or would it be alright and we'll just do it so we can put fertiliser down? Oh, the conundrums. Right, so there's barley in there. What do we... So we've got oats there. We've got barley there. Let's have a look. Should we... Let's put canola in, because we don't have a lot of seed in here. So if we put canola in, we're not using much seed. I know it will take a lot. Canola takes a fair bit of fertiliser, and because we've ploughed as well, it will mean that there won't be any weeds, because the normal weeder is no good for getting rid of... I think it's the first growth stage with canola. The weeds you get, you need a hoe straight away. You can't use a normal weeder. But right, let's try and get ourselves something like in a line. And with this bit of a hill, I think we are going to struggle slightly with our power. I need to have a think about what's going to be the best option to do tractor wise, because we keep dropping down to sort of like 3-4 miles an hour trying to get this drilled, but it's only when we're driving over the ploughing. When we drive over where it's been drilled already, we are absolutely fine power wise. So we either plough and then roll, then drill and roll again, or we have a look in the small tractor category. So this is what we have now, and obviously with it having a front loader, I don't want to get rid of that at all. The next option is going, what's that, 103? Ooh, that's very much the next option. So £28,000, and that gets us 143 horsepower. And then what? I won't do any glass tinting, I'm not a big fan of that. The GPS, we don't need that in. But obviously wheels, wide tyres, wheel weights, that would be perfect. So I think that's what we need to look for. That's going to be our first big sort of upgrade, is £29,800, which, to be fair, it's only a couple loads of timber. So at the beginning of the next episode, if I preloaded the trailer again with some timber, it would then just mean doing one time lapse, hopefully, touch wood, fingers crossed. It would be then one time lapse unloading timber again, and then we should have enough to get our new tractor. And like I said, I would like to keep this one because it comes very in handy having the front loader on. So let's drop that off and let's go get the rolls, which the rolling will take no time at all now, because like I've just said, once you've drilled the field, you get loads of traction, and it's brilliant for walking on. Well, driving on, I should say. But right, let's get on to it. Let's get this rolled, and then afterwards we will finish off that ploughing, and then we'll have to decide what crop to put into there. Because with these push harvesters, we could go, if we wanted to, and put the likes of peas in, yeah, and then harvest them like so. So that's always sort of a bit of an option for us. But yeah, I think I may just keep jump cutting doing this rolling, because it'll be that fast. I think the time lapse would only be, I think it'd only equate to like 20 seconds. So I read a comment on, well, the first video of Survival Challenge went out yesterday, I believe, and I read a comment from last night saying about how a lot of people, apparently they're doing survival challenges, but they're all AI. I didn't even know that was a thing. I wouldn't even know how to do it, but I'm not the most technically minded when it comes to computers and all that sort of thing. I will say I did build my computer, which I did really enjoy doing that. It was lovely to learn, but this whole thing of AI and how to do things like that, no idea. So I wouldn't even know, like I say, to how would you go about making a series, with AI. But yeah, let me know down below if anyone else is finding something similar, that more and more creators aren't actually doing the videos themselves. That was a very strange feeling, referring to myself as a creator. I've never really thought of myself like that. But I know this channel's still in its infancy, and it's well, would I like it to gain more traction? Of course I would. But it's like everything, you've got to put the time and the effort in to hopefully get the rewards. And the last little slither, so that should be, if we go now look at the map and go through to here, needs rolling. Okay, there's a few tiny little bits, but I'm not too fussed about those. So we'll go park this up now, out of the way. So I'll leave this just here, and then in preparation for the last job that we'll do today, I'm going to go put the Isaria Scout on. So let's put that onto there. We might as well take this over, because as soon as I'm done ploughing, what I will do is I'll use this and I'll do the whole field. Then it means in the next episode we can get the other side drilled and rolled, and then we can spray the whole lot in one go once we know exactly what we need. So right, let's leave that there. Let's go jump onto here. And these deer, they're very, very tame, aren't they? that took a lot longer than what I thought it was going to do. And I think, and you'll probably all agree with me, that ploughing, I think we should give it a rest now for a short while. But anyways, let's just pull this over to the side here. I think next, if we're going to do anything, we might as well cut some grass or the like. So let's leave that here and jump on to here. And we'll have to get unfolded, don't we, first? And then we can get all our soil in for this. But yeah, we do some grass cutting. We may just start cutting over here, because we will need... To be fair, I think it's probably worth drilling some grass at some point, because we are going to need it if we're going down sheep and or cows. So we don't want to change everything into arable. Right, let's take a sample just here. And it should be, we should be looking at a lot of loam, because it does say that we are predominantly loam where we are. What do we think? Will we get this last lot in? Will it be one more sample, or is it you're going to leave us with a really annoying little part? I think it's going to be an annoying little part. Oh, that is infuriating. I don't quite know. I don't think I can do any better. We're going to have to do that, and then we will just have to spend another £50 on getting that point sampled. Or has it bled through enough? Because you do get a bit of bleeding on the edges. I can't bring myself to spend £50 on that edge there. Right, let's to send these away, press Y, yes please. And as soon as we see money come out of our bank account, we know they're done. So there we go, £4,700, cost us £250 to do that. So let's now go to here. Oh, that's not great. We're all sandy loam. I thought it'd all be loam. So by the looks of this, our loam is all in here. where I've just been saying I don't want to put arable in. Like, I'll put some grass fields in, but so the most productive part of our farmyard, we're not going to be farming. But anyways, and then here is where I would like to cut through the trees. That's what I want to focus on there, getting the trees out there, and then we can get a nice straight edge onto there. And then when we eventually move the farm over to here, we can then look at taking out all this and getting that into what should be a very productive field. But on that note, I think we're going to call it a do with that. So I just want to say thank you very much for watching. I hope you've all liked and enjoyed the video, and I hope you're all enjoying the new series. And I will see you again in the next one. Bye for now.